Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jet Setting cruise video. Today I'm showing you all the tips and tricks that you need to know before stepping on board Majestic Princess, which is a part of Princess Cruises. I first sailed on her in 2022 out of Los Angeles, but right now she's sailing out of Sydney in New Zealand and then has plans to head over to Alaska for the 2024 Alaska sailing season. The Majestic Princess is a Royal class ship for Princess Cruises and had her maiden voyage in 2017. It was originally designed for the Chinese market, so you'll definitely notice in this video a few stylings that are a little different when sailing on board. Since COVID though, she has not returned to China and instead has been sailing Pacific itineraries. So because it was designed for that Chinese audience, which has a little bit different tastes, you're going to notice a lot more gold on this ship. Overall, it didn't really bother me. It definitely felt very elegant and first class, but just something to be aware of before stepping on board. It might be styled a little bit differently than other cruise ships that you've been on. Now, once you do step on board, you're going to recognize a lot of your familiar staples that you know and love about cruising, including the buffet. This one I thought looked really nice. Some of it was closed during our sailing because it was still sort of in the early restart times when we stepped on board. But this ship does have a few differences in the dining venues for specialty dining, including the Harmony dining room, which is more for the traditional Chinese audience. They've switched around the menu since returning home to the American itineraries because some of the Chinese dishes were just a little bit too advanced, I think, for those on board, but really amazing looking venue for sure. One design difference though that did stand out to me was there was a lot more high-end shopping into shopping experiences on the ship, likely due to it being designed more for a Chinese audience that are just way more into shopping than some of the American audiences that other ships have been designed for. So some of the public spaces that I think could have been used for more venues just for hanging out or having fun are taken up by shopping, but may not be something that you notice, but it's just something I recognize while on board. I did like the fountain show on the pool deck at night, as well as the enclosed sanctuary that they call the Hollywood Conservatory on board. Now, before you board, definitely download the Medallion class app. That's Princess's app that you'll use on board to order drinks, schedule services. It's really a highly tech-enabled cruise. They ship you this medallion before you get on board, and that's going to be very fancy and very cool. Probably the most tech-enabled cruise ship that I've been on. Now, when it comes time to dine, I was not really all that impressed with much on board. It was just okay. I will say that other cruise lines have been cutting like their lobster night. All the lobster was still complimentary and unlimited when I was there. And here's a look at our cabin. I really did feel like the cabins were pretty upscale here. So you can see I'm connecting my medallion to my room to open it up. And as you walk in, really a gigantic closet area. I think this is definitely an improvement over other ships that I've been on. I did have a balcony class cabin on this voyage. But as you walk into the bathroom, really nothing all that special on the inside there. Pretty standard cruise line, but nothing standing out that's awful either. They do provide shampoo and conditioner and body wash, but I would bring your own if you are picky because it wasn't all that amazing. And then we had two twin beds that were separated. Those can be pushed together. Part of my status with Princess, I do get a little mini bar in the room, which is always a nice touch and saves me a little bit of money on the cruise. Really big TV there on the wall, which I can't say the same for other ships. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of cruise ship tours as well as cruise ship tips that will help you on your next vacation. In terms of clientele, there are kids that are allowed on Princess, though I would say that the overall age of people on board skews a little bit older than like your Royal Caribbeans or your Carnivals. Doesn't mean that people aren't there to have fun though. There's plenty of activities that skew younger. People young and old love the bartender shows, for example. Karaoke was also very popular and they had an awesome room for it. All your other cruise favorites like bingo, the casino, wine tastings are all on board though, ready for you to enjoy. Overall, those are my tips and tricks for sailing on the Majestic Princess. Hope you have a great cruise and please subscribe to the channel if you like this video.